The other day I was having a conversation with a neurotypical person and we were talking about masking and they asked like why do you mask? Like why do you feel the need to change who you are for somebody else? You know, which is an understandable question, but it's also like not what masking is because masking when you're an autistic person is so much more than just wanting to fit in. It's like a survival mechanism. That's what neurotypicals don't understand. So I'm gonna try to explain what masking is from an autistic perspective and why we do it, or at least why I did it. I learned how to math before I got diagnosed. I got diagnosed with ADHD and autism last year when I was 16, and I started masking when I was like 10 because of my experiences in elementary school. And I would say for me, it was mostly just because I figured out very quickly that I was different in some way. I didn't know why, I didn't know what, that there was a name for it. I just felt like an alien compared to everybody else. And I was like, there's something different about me, there's something wrong with me, and I need to fix it so that I will be accepted by others. Because when you don't mask, you're oftentimes mistreated by others. And I know that a lot of people will say, like, oh, I would never make fun of an autistic person, but what a lot of people don't understand is that you might be making fun of someone's autistic traits without even knowing that they're autistic. For example, when I was a child, I was well behaved and I was pretty quiet, but oftentimes I didn't understand instructions properly. Like, I would listen, but my brain would misinterpret instructions, and I required very specific instructions, and I got very anxious if I didn't know exactly what was going on. And so I would often have to ask clarifying questions, or I would misunderstand things, and, I would be spoken to in a condescending manner, or kind of mistreated by, like, authority figures, like teachers and stuff, because of that. And the teachers that spoke to me in a condescending manner, spoke to me slowly, or like I was stupid because I didn't understand things. In their mind, they're probably thinking, oh, this kid's a little dumb. But I was actually just autistic and they didn't know that. I also started masking because of the social isolation I faced, but from my peers, because I was considered weird in like elementary school a lot because I had imaginary friends at an older age. I lacked social awareness, didn't really understand when people were making fun of me or not. I had strange and obsessive interests that other people couldn't relate to. Also, stimming. I've noticed that if something happens and I just like flap my hands, because like it's like my natural reaction to flap my hands, and if I do that in front of others, they might like give you weird looks or just be like you're crazy and you're just stimming. And also, even if you're not being mistreated personally, you kind of see the way that people like you get mistreated. Like when you see the way neurotypicals talk about autistic people or like people that they think are different, and you realize, oh, if I behave like them, if I let those traits show, that's how they're going to talk about me. Then that encourages you to mask. Now, I've learned that as I've gotten older, people a lot of times are more accepting and more understanding, and they're more educated about these things. So I don't really like face a lot of like mistreatment now. But yeah, that experience in like early elementary school in those early stages of development really impacts you, and that's why we mask a lot of times.